Let's get one thing straight. Mephisto isn't just Marvel's version of the devil, he's worse. He doesn't want to destroy the world. No, he wants to own your soul, rewrite reality, and gaslight the multiverse one deal at a time. This guy's got the fire of hell, the tongue of a lawyer, and the drip of a Vegas magician. He's tricked Spider-Man, tormented Doctor Doom, and even had Thanos saying, "Yo, you're kinda messed up." And the craziest part? He's barely scratched the surface of what he's capable of. So, buckle up, because today we're diving into the entire story of Mephisto, Marvel's most manipulative, most malevolent, and most meme-worthy demon lord. This is not your Sunday school devil. This is Mephisto. Long before the Avengers were a thing, before Thanos ever snapped his big purple fingers, before even the first ancient god showed up on Earth, there was Mephisto. He wasn't born like a regular person. He came from something way darker. After a giant cosmic being wiped out a bunch of ancient evil gods, all that leftover evil energy had to go somewhere. And from that mess, powerful demon-like beings called Hell Lords were born. And Mephisto? He was the first, the original, the blueprint for Marvel's version of the devil. Now, is he the actual devil? Like Satan? Not exactly, but he sure looks the part. Red skin, horns, fire everywhere, and a creepy smile. He rules his own dimension that looks just like hell. He even calls it hell or Hades, but it's not the religious kind of hell, it's just Mephisto's own personal horror playground where he tortures souls and makes evil deals all day long. And here's where it gets clever. Mephisto wants people to think he's Satan. The more people fear him, the more powerful he becomes. So he leans into the myth, plays the part, and feeds off your belief. It's like he's doing PR for evil. If you think he's the big bad, then that's what he becomes. And yeah, he's a shapeshifter too. That devil look, totally just one of his favorites. He can appear however he wants, whatever messes with your head the most. And he's not some Earth-based demon either. He's from another dimension entirely. Immortal, ancient, manipulative on a cosmic level. Some even say he wasn't a demon at all, but the very first deviant created by the Celestials, a completely different type of being. But Mephisto? He doesn't care what the truth is. If the lie makes him scarier, he'll roll with the lie every time. Quick pit stop before we unleash all the hellfire? If you're digging this deep dive into Marvel's most manipulative menace, hit that subscribe button. I'm just getting started. And every sub, helps me get closer to the magical 1,000 mark. Let's make a deal. You sub, and I keep bringing the cosmic chaos. Deal? Cool. All right, back to Mephisto being an absolute nightmare. Because this guy's not just scary looking, he's an actual cosmic cheat code. First off, reality manipulation. Mephisto doesn't just mess with your mind. He can literally rewrite the world around you. He's changed entire timelines, erased relationships, and made people forget things that definitely shouldn't be forgotten. One day you're living your best life. The next, it never happened. That's the level of power and pettiness we're dealing with here. But wait, it gets worse. He's a soul collector, and not the chill kind. He'll make deals that sound sweet, but the fine print, always cursed. He offers desperate people exactly what they want. Fame, love, second chances, but always in exchange for their soul. And once he's got it, he owns you. Forever. No takebacks, no refunds. Now throw in shape-shifting, and you've got a demon who can show up as your best friend, your dead relative, or a golden retriever with glowing eyes if that's what it takes to mess with your head. He can also teleport, hop in and out of dimensions like he's got a season pass to the multiverse, and mess with people's emotions, amplifying fear, guilt, desire, whatever weakness he can sniff out. And yes, he's immortal. Can't die, doesn't age, doesn't sleep, just vibes. Really, really evil vibes. On top of that, he's a master of the mystic arts. Think Doctor Strange, but instead of protecting reality, Mephisto's trying to make it weirder, darker, and more soul-sucky. He can cast dark spells, summon demons, throw up magical shields, and basically turn the environment around him into a haunted house from your worst nightmares. And of course, he rules over his own fiery realm, complete with screaming souls, lesser demons, and a throne made of pure spite. So yeah, if you're fighting Mephisto, you're not just battling a villain, you're playing chess against the devil. And he's already 5 moves ahead. You want to know what really makes Mephisto dangerous? It's not just the powers, it's the stories. Let's start way back in 1968, where Mephisto made his first move in Silver Surfer 3. And he didn't start small. No, he went straight for the most noble cosmic bro in the Marvel Universe. The Silver Surfer, Galactus' ex-herald, turned sad, shiny space poet. Mephisto saw him and thought, that guy? That's the soul I want. Pure, tortured, stuck on Earth. Ripe for corruption. So Mephisto starts playing mind games, sending illusions, temptations, offering the surfer his deepest desires if he'd just hand over his soul. But the surfer doesn't bend. His heart is too pure, even for that level of manipulation. Mephisto gets so mad he kicks him out of hell and dramatically vows they'll meet again. Spoiler alert, they absolutely do. Now jump ahead a few decades and things get messy, because this is the Mephisto story fans love to hate. During the events of Civil War, Peter Parker reveals to the world that he's Spider-Man. Heroic? Yes. Smart? Not even close. His enemies go after his loved ones, and Aunt May takes a bullet and ends up clinging to life. Peter's desperate. He tries science and magic, but nothing works. And then he shows up. Mephisto makes Peter the ultimate deal. I'll save Aunt May. I'll make the world forget you're Spider-Man. But in exchange, I want your marriage, not your soul, your love. That deep, rare, pure bond between Peter and Mary Jane. Why? Because Mephisto is spite incarnate. He wants to hurt God by destroying the purest love in the world. Yeah, it's that twisted. Mary Jane agrees to the deal before Peter can even finish panicking. Poof! The marriage is gone. Aunt May lives, and the timeline's rewritten. It's one of the most controversial retcons in Marvel history. Fans still rage about it, but from a storytelling perspective, Mephisto won. That's what makes it unforgettable. Okay, now this one is a gothic masterpiece. Picture this. Dr. Doom. Yes, that Dr. Doom wants to save his mother's soul from Mephisto's hell. Every Midsummer's Eve he tries. Every year he fails. Eventually, Doom does the unthinkable. He asks for help. And who does he turn to? The Sorcerer Supreme himself, Doctor Strange. The two team up and dive headfirst into Mephisto's infernal realm. And as you might guess, Mephisto isn't thrilled to have company. He hits them with illusions, demons, temptations, the works. But Doom? He's laser-focused until he isn't. At the climax, Doom betrays Strange, offers him up in exchange for his mom. Cold move, right? But here's the twist. His mother refuses to leave. She sees Doom's betrayal and is like, nope, I'd rather stay in hell than be saved by a snake. Doom's crushed. Strange saves the day. And Mephisto? He's grinning the whole time. Because even when he loses a soul, he still gets his drama. And then there's the big one. Infinity Gauntlet. When Thanos gathers all 6 Infinity Gems and becomes basically a god, guess who's right there whispering in his ear like the world's worst life coach? You guessed it, Mephisto. He plays the role of advisor, sycophant, and chaos enthusiast. Why? Because he knows Thanos' obsession with Lady Death is a weakness. And where there's emotional weakness, Mephisto sees opportunity. So while Thanos is wiping out half the universe with a snap, Mephisto's standing by with popcorn, enjoying the cosmic genocide and hoping to scoop up all those sweet, sweet souls. He even tries to trick Thanos and steal the gauntlet for himself at one point. Spoiler, it doesn't go well. By now you've seen Mephisto pull some of his biggest moves, cutting deals with Spider-Man, tormenting Silver Surfer, making Dr. Doom betray the one person he ever cared about. But those are just the highlights. Mephisto doesn't only go after the legends. He goes after the broken, the desperate, and the ones who are just barely hanging on. Like Daredevil. Yeah, the blind lawyer who fights crime with ninja skills and Catholic guilt. There's this one story where he's at absolute rock bottom. His life's a mess. He's grieving. He's drinking alone in a bar. And that's when Mephisto shows up. No flames, no horns. Just a stranger with a knowing smile, offering peace in exchange for his soul. That's Mephisto's specialty. Showing up when you've got nothing left and making sure you lose even that. Then there's the time Mephisto turned Las Vegas into his own personal hell. In a storyline called Damnation, Doctor Strange tries to magically rebuild the city after a huge disaster. Mephisto steps in, hijacks the spell, and turns the whole place into a demonic war zone. He even starts corrupting heroes, twisting them into evil versions of themselves and building a team of superpowered monsters who used to be good guys, all because he felt like having a little fun. And then there's Scarlet Witch. Yep, Wanda Maximoff. In the comics, her twin sons were actually created using pieces of Mephisto's own soul. He let it happen. And then, just when things seemed perfect, he ripped them back, erasing them from reality. No big battle, no epic showdown. Just a casual, oh, those were mine actually, and snap, gone. It's one of the coldest things he's ever done. So yeah, Mephisto doesn't just fight you. He waits, he watches, and when your guard is down, that's when he strikes. Not with a punch, but with an offer. Now, if there's one Marvel character forever linked to Mephisto in the most cursed employee of the month kind of way, it's Ghost Rider. And not just one Ghost Rider, all of them. It started with Johnny Blaze, the Daredevil stunt rider who made the classic Mephisto mistake, trying to cheat death. His father figure was dying, so Johnny made a deal, his soul in exchange for a miracle. Mephisto said yes, of course, and then let the guy die in a totally unrelated accident. Because technically, the deal was fulfilled. That's the devil's favorite trick, the loophole. But Mephisto didn't just take Johnny's soul. He transformed him, bonding him with the demon Zarathos. a spirit of vengeance even older than Mephisto himself, and turning him into the first modern Ghost Rider, a flaming-skulled, chain-whipping, vengeance-seeking nightmare on wheels. And here's the twist. Mephisto thought he had full control. That Ghost Rider would be his enforcer. But vengeance doesn't follow orders. The spirit inside Johnny rebelled. He hunted the wicked, sure, but not always the ones Mephisto wanted. It was like Frankenstein's monster with a motorcycle and a worse attitude. Mephisto made the weapon, but it didn't stay in his hand. And then came more writers. Danny Ketch, drawn to the spirit by fate and tragedy. Robbie Reyes, the modern muscle car version who bonded with a different spirit entirely, but still found himself tangled in Mephisto's games. Each new writer brought a new flavor of hellfire. But that Mephisto signature? Still all over it. Ghost Riders are walking consequences. They're the proof that Mephisto's influence doesn't end with a handshake. It lingers. It burns. And even when they turn against him, even when they break the chains, he still wins in a way. Because he knows the curse is inside them forever. The irony? Mephisto created the Ghost Riders to serve his will. Instead, they became the one thing he can't fully control. The vengeance he unleashed became his own worst punishment. For a guy who loves contracts, it's wild that Mephisto still hasn't signed one with the MCU. We've had demons, witches, hexes, multiverses. WandaVision even had satanic vibes, so strong fans were practically chanting his name in Latin. Ralph shows up? Internet. That's Mephisto. Kids disappear? Mephisto. Strange gets shady and No Way Home? Definitely Mephisto. At this point, he's not just a character, he's a meme. Marvel's ultimate just-wait-for-it villain. There have been rumors, lots of them. Word is Sacha Baron Cohen might be playing him, possibly in Ironheart or Agatha, Darkhold Diaries. But so far, nothing official. Just whispers, devilish grins, and missed opportunities. But here's the thing about Mephisto. He waits, he plots, and when he finally shows up, he won't need an introduction. He'll already know your name. And if the MCU ever gives him a proper debut, let's just say all hell's gonna break loose. What makes Mephisto truly terrifying? It's not the fire, not the horns. It's the truth. Everyone has a price, even heroes. Mephisto isn't just the devil, he's the deal you almost made, the whisper behind every mistake. And for him, that's just Monday. See a stranger with a glowing contract? Run, because if Mephisto's in your story, you're already losing. If you had fun riding through hell and back, hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel madness, and ring the bell so you're first in line when the next villain crawls out of the shadows. And hey, if Mephisto showed up at your door with a contract and a creepy smile, what would your price be?